Will Barack Obama's legacy be blemished by the fumbled healthcare rollout? To be honest with you, I sure hope not. I feel that if you can put your political views aside for just a minute and really examine what our president has accomplished in the past 6 years, it really is quite astonishing what he has achieved. Paul Glastris of the Washington Monthly writes, "He's gotten more done in 3 years than any president has in decades. Healthcare reform, the takeover and turnaround of the auto industry, the biggest economic stimulus in history, sweeping new regulations of Wall Street, a tough new set of consumer protection on the credit card industry, the greatest increase in wilderness protection in 15 years, a vast expansion of national service, and the list goes on. In my opinion, we as a country spend too much time pointing out negatives. If you are a Republican, it seems it is your sole duty to point out everything wrong that Democrats do, and Democrats do the same thing. I have always thought that if we should spend more time with constructive criticism, think of what we could accomplish. I'm not saying that we have to always agree with each other, but think of what Obamacare could have been if we all would have worked together. To me, it seems it always has to be either extreme right or extreme left. I'm not a politician, even a poli-sci major, but as a mother who has my daughter's future always in my best interest, I feel we need to work together more than we are. If we all can support each other and our president, our country's future will be better served." Let's look at some of the positive actions that have come out of the White House in the past 6 years. Maybe there can be something that we'll agree on. Positive number 1, Obama ended Don't Ask, Don't Tell. This was a law that openly banned openly gay men, lesbians, and bisexuals from military service. In an article by the New York Times dated July 22nd, it states that service members will no longer be forced to hide who they are in order to serve our country. Don't you think we should accept anybody who would risk their lives for ours? No matter your sexual orientation, any American citizen should be allowed to serve our country. Positive number 2. As Commander-in-Chief, he ordered the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. He also ended the war in Iraq and withdrew troops from Afghanistan. Glastris writes, "Obama helped to oust Gaddafi in Libya and usher out Mubarak in Egypt, orchestrated new military and commercial alliances as a hedge against China, and tightened sanctions against Iran over its nukes. A large part of our president's job is to keep us safe. I truly believe he has made a valiant effort to do this. His most recent test will now how he handles the current situation in Russia." Positive number 3. 32 million Americans are uninsured according to the March-April issue of the Washington Monthly. The Affordable Care Act has succeeded where 5 previous presidents have failed. Reforming our health care is not a small task. To expect it to be flawless is naive. Even with all of its faults, loopholes, and negative press, one thing is a fact. People who could not get health care or pay for health care before can now. Take my little brother as an example. He has a job that pays barely minimum wage, nowhere near enough to pay for decent health care. As of 2 months ago, he now is fully insured and pays $17 out of pocket. His daughter and wife are also insured. This could never have happened without the Affordable Care Act. I know that many people have been hurt by this, but let's try and figure out how to solve it together so that more people like my brother can continue to get access to great medical care. According to a recent poll by Gallup, those surveyed were asked who are the top 4 best and worst presidents since 1970. Only one man showed up on both lists, President Barack Obama. Love him or hate him, he is responsible for the most powerful country in the world. We come from such a polarized country, there are bound to be people who are hurt by his decisions and others who benefit greatly from them. It is our responsibility to challenge our president and to expect the best from him. Unfortunately, he can and never will appeal to everybody. But that is one thing that makes our country so great. In a speech at his 2004 Democratic Convention, Barack Obama said that it is the true genius of America, a faith in the simple dreams of its people, the instance of small miracles, that we can say what we think, write what we think, without hearing a sudden knock on the door, that we can have an idea and start our own business without paying a bribe or hiring somebody's son, that we can participate in the political process without fear of retribution, and that our votes will be counted, or at least most of the time. Thank you.